What's up guys, it's Aiden from Trap Masters, and today we're going to go through how Niagara Falls by Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, 21 Savage was made. Let's get into the video. Niagara Falls was one of the biggest songs from 2022, coming from Metro Boomin's album Heroes and Villains, which features verses from Travis Scott and 21 Savage, as well as multi-platinum producers Alan Ritter and my best friend Jacob. And once you understand exactly how this track was made, you'll become far better at making tracks like this yourself. For example, the beat that you're hearing in the background right now was a beat that I cooked up yesterday, using the sounds and techniques that I learned from remaking Niagara Falls. So I'm really excited for this remake today, and for my Patreon supporters, the FLP and the stems for this deconstruction now be available to you. So to remake Niagara Falls, you're going to need to know 5 different pillars. These are the synths, the piano, the drums, the 808, and the strings. Let's jump into the breakdown. So we start off the song with this weird textured synth sound. Thank you to the member of my Discord server who sent me this sample, who has chosen to remain nameless, but you can check out the server in the description below. Adding a filter using parametric EQ2. Next up we have the piano. I'm going to show you the final result first and then show you exactly how we got to this place. The original piano is going to sound like this. You can find this preset in Addictive Keys. Amazingly, I've used Addictive Keys in the last 3 remakes. And I can tell you Addictive Keys was the VST that was used in every single one of these songs. Good for excellent audio. We're using the Studio Grand piano once again with the close tube microphone. And it's very important that you bring the velocity of the sample down to 0. So this is before. This is after. It adds a really nice filter, which works well for this song. For effects, we're going to be adding some multi-band compressor using OTT and then bringing down the low end. Adding some RC20 retro color using the Lush and Crunch Guitar 2 preset, bringing up the wobble, distortion, and the reverb. This is going to make the sound more retro and warm. Finally, some J37 stereo to finish off this warm tape delay sort of effect. Then this is the most important part. We're going to be rendering this sample so it converts from MIDI into audio. So it's going to look like this now. Double click on this sample, right click on it and go open in Fruity Slicer. Then go to your slicing options and go half beat. We're going to be bringing up the pitch by 600 cents. So now it's going to sound like this. Bring up the tension, the attack, and the decay a little bit, and that's going to sound like this. Next up we have the drums. Let's go through the kick first. We're using this really common kick sample. We're going to be boosting it so it's clipping. And instead of playing it at C, we're playing it up 1 semitone at C sharp. That was the exact kick sample that was used. Then we add in the reverse kick. To get the exact reverse kick, we're going to be cloning this sample and hitting reverse and bring up the length to 66%. Then for effects, and this is really important, we're going to be adding OTT again. And when the kick is playing with the reverse kick, we want the bass frequencies of the reverse kick to be cut out. So we're going to be adding Track Spacer, which is a really powerful plugin. This enables frequency-specific sidechaining. That means that when the kick and the reverse kick are playing at the same time, the bass frequencies in the reverse kick are being removed. Otherwise, it's going to be clashing. And also the bass is going to be twice as loud if we have the bass frequencies from 2 kicks playing at the same time. So it's going to look like this. Let's bring up an EQ. So you can see the first reverse kick isn't being sidechained, but the second reverse kick is, and you can see the bass frequencies have been removed. So it's a really cool plugin. It's not free. But as you can see, the reverse kick plays a little bit more sparingly than the original kick. And we're going to add in the snare. This is the BWB Wave 5 Snare 22. It is the exact snare that was used in the original song. This was also sent to me by someone on my Discord server. Damn, they're mad helpful on the Discord server, I tell you what. So this is the original song and the snare. Then for effects, we're going to be adding a filter on the snare, which only plays in the introduction. And you can see the filter cuts off once we get into the beat. Then we have the identical hi-hat samples. The first one is the Boomin hi-hat 4. So this is the original song. Remake. And this plays a little bit sparingly. It doesn't play a normal 2-step hi-hat pattern, which I actually really like. Then we have the identical open hat sample, which is the BWB Upgrade 3 Open Hat 2. Look here at the waveforms of the original song. Matches perfectly. That one took me a while to find, but I'm very happy to say that we've got all of the exact identical drum samples from the original song. So now it's going to sound like this. Next up we have the Moog sub bass, and you can hear Metro Boomin used a Moog in the original song. He didn't use an 808 like he normally does. He either played it in himself or he got someone else to play it in. But one thing's for sure, he used probably the Moog 1 in creating the bass sound that was used in this song. Now, I don't have access to a $20,000 synth yet, but you can recreate the sound really accurately using the preset that I'm about to show you. So for the bass preset, we're going to be using the Mini V3, which is a VST designed by Arturia, which is built off the Mini Moog. Really nice, clean bass sound, and I modified the A Bass You'll Like preset in their bass presets. That was the first sub, which was quite gentle. Then we're coming into the second sub, which is very distorted, very creatively distorted, might I add. Oh, Aiden plays it perfectly. That should be my new producer tag. And this sub plays quite a few different melodies in this song, so I'm not going to go through them all individually today. But if you want access to the FLP, once again, you can check it out on Patreon. And by the way, shout out to our supporters who are making this video possible, particularly these unsponsored videos, because a lot of money and time goes into these deconstructions, which you don't see behind the scenes. Then we have one more sample coming in before we get to the strings. This is a female Vox sound. And go to your envelope/instrument settings, make this envelope with the sustain 100%, everything else 0. Now sounds like this. And this means the sound only plays for as long as you're playing it in the MIDI. So if I turn it off, as you see, I have no control over it, but then you turn it on. And as you can see, this sound plays a lot in this song. Next up for the strings, we were fortunate enough to have one of the producers of the original song, a producer by the name of my best friend Jacob, who I interviewed the other day, and he broke down the exact presets that were used in making the strings. Can you break down for us the sample that you created on Niagara Falls?
Absolutely. I'll play it first, and then we'll go through some of the instruments. One of the questions I get from a lot of people is the string sound. Funny enough, this is a free instrument that I found on a YouTube channel. The guy's name is Christian Henson. I can't find it anywhere online, but it was called Alice Allencello. So a lot slower. I time stretched it, pitched it down 1, and then my little trick here is I like to use this secondary pitch here, pitch it up 12. Normal.
Sounds incredibly dark.
When you pitch it up 12, that's where, at least for me, the magic kind of happened and you get this.
Did you add any effects to the strings?
I used the SSL and I literally just used the violin preset. And then I also used the J37. I know this is a fan favorite. I always seem to use the electric guitar preset. I just think it warms up the sounds. The top line that I use is a contact instrument called Ping Kong. It's spaced out piano. Sounds like this.
Did you add any effects to the King Pong sound?
No, it is straightforward sound. I'm really happy that I explored and I went to number 6. That's where we get that spaced out sound. I didn't really have to do much other than just switching the signal. So it sounds way different.
Thank you very much to Jacob for coming on this channel to break down how the sample was made. Make sure to check out their incredible plugin Scorch in the description below, and feel free to use our affiliate link in the process to help support the channel. So Jacob sent me the final sample. As you can see, the sample isn't in time with the project, which is 88 BPM. Let's just listen to it now. So let's stretch it out so it's in time. Reset the pitch. Going to be using this first third of the sample, so let's cut out the rest of it and go make unique as a sample. Then once again, we're going to be going into the audio clip and bringing it into a Fruity Slicer channel, and let's go cut to beat and bring it up by 6 semitones again. But as you might have noticed, there's one note which is out of key. It's number 12, this one. So let's go to Control and Note Fine Pitch. So now it brings up the individual pitches of each cut part of this sample. I'm going to go to number 12 and bring it down by 100 cents, as you can see in the top left. And that's it. So now it's going to sound like this. This is the final result. That's it for the remake. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure to check out our last video, how the viral AI-generated song Heart on My Sleeve featuring Drake and The Weeknd was made. Or, and this is an oldie but a goodie, make sure to check out our remake of One Dance by Drake. That's a really good song as well. That's how it's done. Talk to you later.